We couldn't sit on our hands while Iran is developing a nuclear program and a ballistic missile program and suppressing its own people and exporting terror throughout the Middle East, especially opposite Israel.
Now back to the situation in the Middle East. As we've just heard, the war between, on the one hand, Iran, and on the other hand, the United States and Israel, the aerial war, is continuing. Let's speak to Yair Lapid, who is the leader of the opposition in Israel. Hello to you.
Hello, we just got terrible news. There was a missile landing in the city of Bet Shemesh, and we have 4 died, dozens of casualties, most of them children. So, bad day.
Given that, given the price which is being paid in Israel and also elsewhere in the Gulf, was it the right thing for Israel and the United States to attack Iran?
Yes, of course. We couldn't sit on our hands while Iran is developing a nuclear program and a ballistic missile program and suppressing its own people and exporting terror throughout the Middle East, especially opposite Israel. So it couldn't be tolerated anymore. We've been trying for years and years, all of us, all the civilized world, negotiations and discussions and sanctions, and nothing worked because it was all part of the same deceive and buying time that they were using, and in order to develop weapons of mass destruction. So yes, we were bound to do this.
But it was a war of choice, in the sense, as you say, that negotiations were underway. A peaceful route could have been pursued, couldn't it?
No, it wasn't, because we have learned in October 7th that if we are to wait for too long, then we're going to pay the price in blood. And the Iranians never hid their intentions, what they wanted. I mean, there are only 2 countries in the United Nations in which one of them is openly saying that their goal is the total destruction of another, and this is Iran about Israel. So we knew what is it that they're aiming at, and they were just gathering the tools. And the United States understand as well, this is not only an Israeli problem, and nuclear Iran is a global problem. The terror proxies of Iran is a regional program, and the ballistic missiles program is everybody's problem. So, I mean, we can wait until they hit us, or we can prevent the killing that we all knew they intend to do.
You have talked of the blood price, but an Israeli strike yesterday killed, I think, 50 schoolgirls in Iran. How does that fit into a strategic conflict?
Well, first of all, we don't know who exactly hit it, but of course it's terrible, and children should not die in grown-ups' wars. But you know what? It's interesting, because this is the exact difference. This is what happened in Iran, in the school in Iran, is the price of war. And nobody intended this to happen. It was just miscalculated. And we are sorry, and everybody in his right mind is terribly sorry and feel terrible about this. On the other hand, but you know, what we are aiming at is military bases and military operations. The Iranians are trying specifically to hit civilians, because this is what they do, because this is the difference between the democratic countries like Israel and the United States, of course, and a terror organization who took hostage a whole country like it is in Iran. They're trying to kill our children. I am sorry about the schoolgirls who died. Nobody wanted to kill them. They're trying, and they want to kill our children. This is the exact difference between the 2 countries.
But in practice, it's not a difference, is it? I mean,
no, it is a difference.
Well, even if you look at Gaza, the level of civilian casualties was very high.
I was waiting for you to raise the question of Gaza. Yes, they were trying to kill our children in Gaza as well. Again, war is terrible, and there is a price, and it's sometimes horrible, and we are sorry about it, and we never meant it to happen, and there is a difference. Iran and Hamas, or the Iranian regime and Hamas, are terror organizations. And to say that there is no difference between democratic countries defending their lives and terror organization is not being able to differentiate good from evil.
I can appreciate intention. I was talking about outcomes.
Yes, I know. It is so easy to talk about outcomes when you're not under attack.
But in this case, in the Iran case, Israel was not directly under attack, and it chose, at the behest of Donald Trump, to go back to war.
Well, when somebody is saying, I'm developing a ballistic missile program because I want to kill your children, and I'm developing a nuclear program because I want to kill everybody and demolish your country and wipe it from the scrap of the earth. So what you are saying is that I'm supposed to wait until they'll do it. And what we think is it is the wrong thing to wait until they'll do it. You'll better do anything in your power in order to prevent this from happening. Yes, I know that there is always the option of all of us just lying down there and waiting to die. I don't think it's a good idea.
No, but the point that I'm really making is that on the basis of your argument, there's nothing to stop Russia deciding that it wants to fire missiles at America because America is building a missile defense against Russia, or indeed America firing more missiles against North Korea. I mean, it's a recipe for World War III, isn't it?
Well, if my memory serves me, Britain started World War II without Germany declaring war on England or France, right? Because they knew these people are after them even if they're not declaring it. I don't think the United States is declaring that they want to scrap Russia from Earth. I don't think they want to say we want to kill all the Russians, and therefore the compulsion doesn't make any sense to me. Iran has been saying for years now, all we do is trying to get the weapons in order to kill all the Jews. So the Jews decided that they don't want to be killed anymore, and they're going to do something to preempt this.
There has been a consequence, though, of Israel's military stance, which is a growth of anti-Semitism in many countries in Europe. Many people believe that it contributed to the defeat of the government in this country in a by-election in Manchester only last week. I mean, there is a high cost from this aggressive position, isn't there?
We're talking about the same Manchester in which a synagogue was attacked by anti-Semites not long ago, right? So there's always an excuse for anti-Semites to be anti-Semites. Sometimes it's because we're capitalists, sometimes it's because we're communists, sometimes it's because we assimilate, sometimes it's not because we're not assimilating, sometimes it's because we have a country, and sometimes it's because we don't have a country. Throughout the ages, people always found excuses to hate Jews. This is what it is. They just hate Jews because they're anti-Semites, and they're finding different excuses each and every time.
What is your view of the decision of the UK government not to join America in its attack on Iran, America and Israel?
Well, first of all, we appreciate the fact that the UK is part of the defense against Iran. It was published here. I didn't hear you in your bulletin that they say anything about it. It was published here that the UK was also defending, for example, Cyprus, that for some reason that nobody understands, Iran was trying to attack as well. So we appreciate that, and we think it's the right thing to do. And we are coordinating with everybody in order just, you know, it's what happened was, yes, there was an attack on Iran coming from us. It's a justified one. There is such a thing as a just war. The reason that Iran has attacked everybody, Kuwait, Qatar, Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, everybody, is because this is the kind of regime they are. As I was saying, it's a terror organization, and the civilized world should stand up to terror organization, and the UK is part of this, and we appreciate that.